Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and whatever else is watching. My name is Nick and we are once more playing Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair. Damn, the ending of the last chapter, chapter 2, that left me really touched. It really was something. However, now I am curious at what chapter 3 will bring. So, class trial again, eh? You know, this time, last trial there were so many possible... Oh, you're still here? Oh, you are number 4, so you will probably be next of Monomi's targets. Last trial there were so many suspects. This time, it's kind of lacking in suspects. I can't really put clear who would want to do something this time. Well, I can say Fuyuhiko might want to do something against Hiyoko. But why Ibuki then? Unless he's so petty about how awful her music was, but for the rest I have absolutely no idea at the moment. Nekomaru is gone. I do know one thing. Ibuki was murdered after Hiyoko because she had blood underneath her feet. Meant that she was stepping in blood. However, I really don't know. That's something I do know for sure. And the video that we saw was staged. Everyone who heard the announcement had gathered in front of Monokuma Rock. No Nekomaru, and soon enough.
Welcome!
Is everybody here? Do you guys want to go to class trial?
Wait!
Hey, jerk! Hold it right there!
Monomi's such a dumb child.
I really like how he said that. Monomi's such a dumb child. What? Don't get in my way. You're just a little dumb little sister who's short a few brain cells.
Hey!
My brain works fine, just fine.
Hey!
Monokuma, what did you do with Nekomaru? I see, so you've come to avenge him.
Yes?
Avenge? That sounded like he died. Sounds like, you say? Oops. Anyway, since Nekomaru is unfortunately unavailable today, let's just say he's absent.
Bye-bye.
Now then, I gotta go first.
I won't let you.
Ah! Hold on! I won't let you escape.
Hey!
Hey, did you hear what he said?
Huh?
Don't worry about it. There's no way Nekomaru is dead. He's just trying to piss us off.
Damn it!
Of course he's not dead. There's no way. Not in a million years.
Well...
More importantly, it's best if we worry about ourselves for now. If something happens here, every one of us except Nekomaru will die. Why are you so excited about that?
How about it?
Who knows? Maybe I'm just looking forward to seeing poetic justice prevail.
What do you yearn for?
What are you saying, fiend? You'll find out soon enough.
See?
Then, let's go.
I'm gonna do it!
Alright, let's hurry up and get this over with. Yeah, you're right. Okay, am I going to talk to everyone? No, because they probably tell me to go to Monokuma Rock anyway. So let's continue on to the class trial. Roar! We stepped onto the escalator and ascended toward the gaping maw of Monokuma Rock. And that's when I suddenly noticed. I noticed our lined up silhouettes keep getting smaller and smaller. But I can't turn back now. If I turn back, I won't be able to press forward. Wait, what? When everyone was inside Monokuma Rock, the elevator began its deep descent as usual. But nobody said a word. As we stood there trying to figure out what to say to each other, the elevator descended deeper and deeper. Who is on the elevator along with us? Mikan? Where is she? I'm not seeing her. Oh wait, she's covered by the text box. That's her. Yep, she's covered by the text box. And when it descended as far as it could go, it finally stopped. The elevator doors opened slowly, almost tantalizingly so. Light poured through from the other side, eroding the boundaries of the darkness. And I walked into that place. My! It feels pretty toothless with all these empty seats. Really? Well, 2 people got killed at the same time, and Nekomaru's not here either.
Hey!
Is Nekomaru really not participating? If he's alive, you should invite him. Not if he's still in a state of healing. He did got blasted with a bazooka, you know.
No!
Why bother?
Let's...
What?
Well now.
Now then, let's begin.
Yoo-hoo!
It's the beginning of the long-awaited class trial. Please enjoy it to your heart's content. Ooh. And so, the curtain to the 3rd class trial was about to open. Ibuki Miyota, the ultimate musician. She was really loud, but she was the mood maker of our group. When I was with her, all of my pain and suffering just seemed to melt away. Hiyoko Sayonji, the ultimate traditional dancer. Just from looking at her adorable face, you'd never know she was actually a selfish and foul-mouthed. But she was trying to change herself. Really? And she was desperate trying to come to terms with Mahiru's death. No, the last one, okay. Trying to change herself? I don't think so. She was a sociopath in the making. I had no good feeling with that girl to begin with. But... the person who killed those 2 is among us. I definitely can't believe it. But whether I believe it or not is irrelevant. Unless I figure out the truth, I won't be able to escape from this hell. That's why I must find out, no matter the cost. For our sake. For our friend's sake. For Ibuki and Hiyoko's sake. And so the curtain to the third class trial was about to open. This life-threatening trial, billowing with hope and despair, has begun. Okay, let's finish. Let's get to class trial.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial. During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. Oh well, who cares about this boring explanation? Let's get on with it already!
I don't mind starting the trial, but I don't really have a grasp of how the case played out. You know, because I was asleep the whole time.
Even if you do grasp it, you're just gonna confuse the heck out of us, aren't you?
Well, he isn't wrong about
But
that.
Nagito's not alone. I don't really get it either.
You're fine. Your head's empty anyway.
Wow, Kazuichi. Those are harsh. Well, to be honest, Akane never got a grasp on everything to begin with. She isn't the smartest, but harsh.
Empty head? Huh. What's wrong with that? Listen up! The emptier your head, the more dreams you can stuff inside it, you know?
Anyway,
That's weird.
we shouldn't proceed with the trial if those two can't participate in the arguments. Since he's the first witness, why don't we ask Hajime to explain the incident and the sequence of events?
Okay.
Then, let's start with when we split into the hospital team and motel team because of the despair disease. The hospital team consisted of Nagito, Ibuki, and Akane, who were infected, and Mikan, Fuyuhiko, and me.
The other 5 on the motel team were myself, Gundham, Kazuichi, Chiaki, and Hiyoko.
Spending the night at the hospital was prohibited, so Hajime and I had to sleep at our cottages.
I woke up at my cottage on the day the incident happened. Mikan came by to wake me up and told me that Nagito had recovered from his symptoms. We immediately headed over to the hospital, and after we confirmed his recovery, I made Mikan rest in the on-call room, since she hadn't slept all night, while I waited in the hospital lobby. And then, I saw the incoming signal light on the surveillance camera blinking before our scheduled time. When I pressed the button to turn on the monitor, what appeared on screen was a video of someone wearing a hospital gown and a hemp bag on their head, climbing a stepladder. Amazing! That's such a heart-pounding story! And then what did you do, Hajime? I tried to stop them, of course. I rushed out of the hospital and ran to where the video was being recorded, the music venue. But it was too late. By the time I arrived, the person wearing the hemp bag on their head was already hanging from the ceiling. I thought I should tell the others right away, so I headed to the motel.
Why the motel?
Because it was close to the music venue, and unlike the hospital, there were more able-bodied people there. At least, that's what I thought. But the only person who came with me was Chiaki.
But I remember feeling a little relieved because not long after, we met up with Mikan and Fuyuhiko.
We were also looking for Ibuki since she disappeared from our sight.
After I rested for a bit, I started counting everyone at the hospital. And then I noticed Ibuki was gone. So I sprinted out of the hospital. Coincidentally, I ran into Fuyuhiko. So I pled with him in various ways to see if he could help me out.
Various ways?
Don't say it like that and confuse people.
After I heard from those two that Ibuki disappeared, I had a feeling she was the person wearing the hemp bag.
Okay, that paints Mikan in such a weird picture. Oh boy, that was kind of funny.
So I immediately led them to the music venue.
But the door wouldn't open. Since we had no other option, the four of us broke down the door. And when that happened, we didn't just find Ibuki's body. We also found Hiyoko's. And not just that. Her body was taped to a pillar.
That's when we heard the body discovery announcement. Not once, but twice in a row.
And so we decided to lower the hanged body, didn't we?
When we removed the hemp bag, just as we feared, it was Ibuki.
Wait, now when I looked at the footage of Hiyoko being tied to that pillar has the same wallpaper as the other pillar. And if I remember it correct, that was lying in the storage room, I mean to say. And if I remember it correctly, that pillar was plastered all over with stickers of that music venue. And the wallpaper lying in the storage room was plastered all over with stickers. However, the paper in case of Hiyoko's wasn't. Well, maybe a few, but not too many though.
So that's how the case played out. Thank you. I understood it very easily.
Well, it's clear what the problem with this case is. When Hajime left the music venue, who...
Wait, how do I know anything Hajime just said is true? Sorry, I'm only being impartial right now. And the story I just heard is clearly suspicious.
Really?
Hajime, if you're the only one who saw the hanging video, and the first one to discover Ibuki's body, then you could be lying as much as you want right now, right?
Lie? Why would I lie?
Okay.
Obviously. So you could make us ignore what might be an inconvenient truth for you.
Do you doubt me?
If you're not lying, I would like you to prove it. Come on, try to prove it to me. Prove you're not the killer.
How? It's just as Kazuichi said, Nagito is the kind of guy who'll just confuse us and make matters worse. Although I think now in this case, Nagito's idiotic taunts are going to help us. Because, one, Mikan is our alibi that we woke up in our cottage. Mikan was with us until a few moments. So that means I couldn't have done anything. Even how we were woken up was embarrassing as hell. Considering Mikan fell asleep on top of us. And the timing for it, that is just makes it pretty weird that we can rule out Hajime because Chiaki is the alibi and everything else for tying up. Well, that part is probably something doubtful because I can't prove that Ibuki was the only one hanging at the moment when Hajime was in there. But the ticket shows us that we can't be the imitation murderer. Damn it, I shouldn't have explained it to Nagito. I'm in trouble now thanks to that. Now I think this one is actually going to help. Moto room key Moto famous monitor video.
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny.
Okay, I need to... not a handbook. I need to figure out the controls again. Move, aim is left, radical... Huh? Silencer is X. Fast forward argument is circle. Cross. Open handbook menu, square, triangle, fire truth bullet. L1, select truth bullet, concentrate, R1. Options, open help, click nothing on the touchpad, so the cross I need to use to get all that white noise away, and fire the truth bullet, but I wanted to select the truth bullet.
After all, Hajime is the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Hajime's fault.
Wait, I'm not the killer. There should be a contradiction somewhere. I need to find that and break through. Okay.
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
I didn't...
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime is the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Hajime's fault.
Yeah, I'm just...
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
Thank you,
That would also
Nagito!
be a lie.
You just helped me
I
out
don't
of...
think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime is the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is
Damn it.
Hajime's fault.
That one was it. That one was it.
Did
Do
Hajime
it
kill
clear.
both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating... No, that's wrong!
I can just shoot through the white noise. Even I don't have to remove it. Cool.
I'm not the killer! I mean, there's no way I'd be able to imitate that movie.
That's true.
Of course you're not. I already knew that.
Huh?
Before the incident, Hajime had never watched that movie. His invitation ticket is proof of that. Each person only received one ticket, and they're marked with a stamp that shows the date and time. Isn't that right, Monokuma?
Yes, no mistakes there.
Which means there's no way Hajime, who never saw the movie, could commit murders that imitated it. Or did anyone tell him what happens in the movie? Of course no one did, right?
Hold on a sec. You're the one who brought this up in the first place.
Yeah, just to clear me.
Nagito, what are you doing?
Well, since we're opening with your witness testimony, I thought we should solidify the foundation. It also provides a good warm-up.
Oh god!
What warm-up? This isn't a game, you know.
Good grief, Nagito.
Don't get mad. I just think warming up is really important. Especially since this isn't a game.
What a waste of time.
Actually it is, but...
Well, I knew it would turn out like this anyway.
Now then, since we know Hajime's testimony is reliable, let us move on to the arguments.
So this means Ibuki definitely climbed the stepladder all by herself, right?
No, not definitely.
Yeah, I'm positive.
And I think you're wrong.
That seals it! Ibuki committed suicide!
No, she didn't.
If Ibuki committed suicide, then who killed Hiyoko?
A murder coincidentally occurring in the same place as a suicide. Ain't possible, huh?
Like I said before, it's pretty clear what the problem with this case is. The killer murdered Hiyoko while Hajime was gone. So all we gotta do is establish who could have possibly done that.
Then let's ask Hajime. How long would you say you were away from the music venue?
I couldn't have been gone for more than 10 minutes.
So they killed Hiyoko and taped her up within 10 minutes? There's no way that's possible.
That's why the killer stalled for time by making the music venue a closed room.
What do you mean, a closed room?
The killer blocked the venue door from the inside to try and keep us from entering right away.
However, that door is the only entrance to the music venue, right? If they blocked the door from the inside, the killer would not have been able to leave either.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Which means, when we broke down the venue door, the killer was still inside.
They were?
If that's the case, the only suspicious people are those who don't have an alibi for that time. And that's you two! Sonia and Kazuichi!
Me too?
What the hell? Why's it gotta be us?
The others all have alibis. Chiaki, Mikan, Hajime, and I all broke down the venue door together. Gundham met up with Hajime at the motel right before that. And if Akane and Nagito were laid up in the hospital, the only person that leaves is one of you.
There's another person who doesn't have an alibi. You know, Nekomaru. Me too!
Wait, what?
Hey, why are you talking like...
Huh?
You're kidding, right? You're not up to something weird, are you?
Please stop making bad jokes.
Anyway, if the killer was hiding inside the venue, we should obviously doubt the people who don't have alibis.
What the heck was that for Monokuma? What?
What a wicked way of backing us into a wall. Is this his professional skill?
Pretty much. The killer was inside the music venue. Fuyuhiko obviously thinks so, but... is that really it? Semi-transparent gloves, surveillance monitor videos, scrap of thick paper.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
You can use that as a bolt to lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together and suddenly appeared.
So they looked like they had just rushed over.
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
That person's remark contradicts the truth. I should be able to prove that with my evidence. Okay,
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
I think it's this one.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
You can use that as a bolt to lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together and suddenly appeared.
So they looked like they had just rushed over.
Which
I
statement?
have seen this in serial crime dramas.
That personal remark contradicts the truth. I should be able to prove that with my evidence. So, it's something that is a lie.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside.
This one!
No, that's wrong! Hold on a sec. There's also a possibility that the door was locked from the outside.
From the outside? How?
There was a semi-transparent glob stuck to the venue door. Maybe that's what they used.
Semi-transparent glob? Like rubber, maybe?
It wasn't rubber at all. That semi-transparent glob was probably... Well, it's not gummy or gum. And we just said rubber, isn't it? So... I would think glue.
I see! That semi-transparent glob must have been glue.
Glue?
Yeah, I think so too.
And you ate that!
It had a firm, gel-like chewiness. And I could smell workshop chemicals the moment I put it in my mouth.
Ow! Ugh.
Based on all that, I'm certain it was glue.
I didn't know glue was edible.
No, it is not!
I believe it is not something one typically eats.
Look, that glue was only applied to the areas where both doors touched. By pouring it in the gaps of the closed door, they must have sealed the venue door from the outside.
And thanks to that, a glob of glue was left where the door was stuck. Yep, it fits perfectly. But if you just stick them together with glue, you'd be able to break down the door easily, you know?
What we did.
That doesn't really matter. The killer only did that to make us think the door was locked from the inside.
What'd you say?
First of all, didn't that drumstick we found seem really obvious? Almost unnaturally so? It was so obvious that it makes more sense to think the killer placed it as a diversion.
Are you saying the drumstick was a trap the killer set on purpose?
Pretty much.
Then I totally fell for that fucking trap.
Apologize to Miss Sonia and me. However, you're not allowed to slice open your stomach this time.
In a quarrel, both sides are to blame. That's why it's better to just have no sides at all.
So, during the 10 minutes Hajime left the venue, the killer murdered Hiyoko and created a closed space?
And they also taped her up after killing her, right?
Even quick work has limits.
Oh, what unimaginable speed for a slowpoke like me.
If they couldn't have done it while Hajime was away from the venue, they must have done it earlier than that.
Earlier?
But when Hajime got to the venue, only Ibuki's body was there, right?
And when you went back with everyone else, Hiyoko's body was there too, right? But it's possible that the body was just revealed at that time, when Hiyoko was actually killed earlier.
Just revealed?
Of course, the body wasn't revealed on its own. The killer did that too. Here, I have proof.
That one.
That scrap of paper. Is that what we found in the baton lighting at the music venue?
That's right, but just what is this scrap anyway?
That scrap that was stuck in the baton lighting in the music venue. Now I should be able to. Yeah, I think there was still some wallpaper wrapped around her. Figure out what it is. I think it has to do with wallpaper, isn't it? No, 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 no. I'm waiting for the... God. I was waiting for a W. How do I remove these ones again? No, 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 no. How do you... You don't... Okay, how do I kill this and destroy ladder? Ladder explosion, send to keyword. Catch, release, oh. I have to use the cross again. Okay. Okay, now I send it to there. Ooh, that was... I need double L and... Damn it. Release. Damn it. Okay, babe. That just things are now going a little bit. I need to... Where's another R? Whoa, 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 whoa. Ah, yeah. Oh, there's my R. Ooh. Man, this took some time. Especially because some things... There was a lot of it.
Scrap. Isn't it part of the wallpaper in the storage room?
Wow. This was a tricky one. More in the sense of...
In the music venue storage room, there should have been black wallpaper that's the same color as that scrap.
That Hangman's Gambit was a tricky one, especially because of how many there were, and I just didn't get the right letters at the right moment. It took a long while before I got a W. And I forgot that I could kill letters that I piled up.
There was also a tear along the edge of the wallpaper, wasn't there? If so...
Right. You overlay the scrap that was caught on the lighting with the tear in the wallpaper.
Pretty much.
See? It fits perfectly.
I see. So the scrap that was caught on the baton lighting was originally part of the wallpaper.
And what's wrong with that? Does it have something to do with Hiyoko's body disappearing?
A mere nobody like me isn't important enough to answer that. But if you guys were exceptional enough to identify that scrap of paper, you can figure this out easily.
Seriously, Nagito? The scrap of paper stuck to the baton lighting was part of the wallpaper I found in the storage room. Is it connected to the sudden appearance of Hiyoko's body? If I trace it back from there, the answer should become clear. Alright, let's give this a try. Wait, what? Okay, I need to know. Jump is triangle, cross is accelerate, brake is circle. Hey! Come on! Should be able to make that. Ow! Wasn't apparently... Where do the questions come? Thought they... Okay. What was hidden? Why did Hiyoko's body suddenly appear at the crime scene? It was... No, it was hidden. Ah, man. Come on, come on. It was hidden. Okay. Ooh. Okay, next question, please. Next question, it takes question 2. What did the killer use to hide her body? A curtain? Whoa, the wallpaper. I think she was behind the wallpaper. And that's correct. Okay. What the heck was this? Huh. Next question. That was weird. How did the killer hide her body with the wallpaper? They covered the pillar, they formed a wall, they covered the pillar? I think that is it. Yes, that's it. Apparently I got it correct. Why did Hiyoko's body suddenly appear at the crime scene? It was hidden in the wallpaper and they covered the pillar.
It's all coming together.
Yeah, at the beginning I had some troubles.
I got it. Hiyoko's body was hidden before we found it.
But it would have taken quite a long time to tape up a hidden body.
No, the body was already taped up and the killer hid it, along with the pillar using the wallpaper.
What? They hid the pillar?
Yeah, by wrapping the wallpaper around the pillar, the killer was able to create a slightly larger pillar. So when I first discovered Ibuki's body, Hiyoko's body was already there. However, because it was concealed within a slightly larger pillar, I didn't realize that at the time.
Me neither. I did not see that one coming.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, it makes sense that you'd notice Ibuki's body right away.
However, I have to admit that I have no clue how much time passes when you move from one to the other parts here. Because that is really inconsistent.
So they used the baton lighting on the ceiling to hang the wallpaper?
The baton lighting forms a perfect circle around the pillar, so using it to hang the wallpaper totally fits.
Then, the reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers was to make it look like that killer.
That's how they hid Hiyoko's body, and then peeled off the wallpaper as soon as I left the music video.
But the killer made a mistake. They accidentally ripped off a piece of the wallpaper.
Pretty much.
And because of that, a scrap was left on the baton lighting.
The killer must have been in a hurry. Their plan took too long. Hajime could have walked in on them.
But going to the trouble of hiding the body and the pillar is very bold and risky.
But the crime itself would be much easier to pull off since they don't have much to do while Hajime's gone.
So that means...
Just have to peel off that wallpaper and stash it in the storage room. It's not that big of a deal.
Then, when was Hiyoko actually killed?